Hello, welcome back. It's me, Ohemaa Mama Kwa, and I know it has been such a while, but y'all know life happens. So I am going to be reviewing The Golden Girls. The Golden Girls is one of my favorites. It's a show that came out in the 80s, and it has four women. You have oh my goodness, I'm having a brain freeze. You have Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia. So this is going to be a review. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. This is going to be a review of the show as a whole, and just my thoughts about Golden Girls. So Golden Girls, I would consider that to be a timeless and classic show. So of course, as I mentioned, you have the four unforgettable characters. Blanche, she just exudes I'm trying to be very careful because YouTube. Blanche is very comfortable with herself and her body. She does like to do this thing where she likes to present herself to be younger than she really is. So it seems like she's kind of afraid of aging, whereas the other ones are just like, like whatever, we're getting older, chicken skin and wrinkles and things like that. And like they, embrace it. But she's also like, yeah, I've done this and I've done this and I've engaged in this and I've done these things. So she's like comfortable talking about the stuff that she's done. And it's just like, oh, and sometimes she can be very forward. Like if she's interested in the guy, she will let it be known. So yes, Blanche is very comfortable with her own sexuality. Rose's naivete brings positivity to everything. So, for example, Dorothy can say something like, bring some water. And Rose will say, for Sophia? And Dorothy will say something like, no, for the Pope. And, like everybody starts laughing because obviously like the way that she'll say it is funny. Or, if Rose says something, because I think sometimes Rose really means well or she meant well. And Dorothy, I guess, is just so irritated by her that she's like, no, Rose, this and this and this. Of course you dimwit, this is what I mean. And it's just like, dang. I don't think Rose always deserved those, smackings and things that she got. And then, of course, speaking of Dorothy, Dorothy is very sarcastic and witty. Definitely, love it. Very knowledgeable of, of things. And yeah, definitely love Dorothy. Dorothy is just like, okay, well, you might be this, but I'm this. Or she'll be like, at least I'm not such and such. And it's just like, oh. So she was also like quick with the tongue. Like she will let you know how she feels. And she has no problem with that. It's probably because she gets it from Sophia. Sophia is her mom, is her 80-something-year-old mom. She always has, the picture it, Sicily, 1917, or, picture it, Brooklyn, 1955. She always has, these fun stories that she tells. Most of them are true. Some of them are not. And she's also very honest. Like there was an episode where there was a little person and everybody was like afraid, they're trying to make sure that they don't say anything to be offensive. And Sophia was just like, she was like, Dorothy, can I talk to you for a minute? She was like, Dorothy, is that a M? Because, now it's offensive, but I guess back then it wasn't. And Dorothy was like, yes. She was like, okay, I thought I was going blind for a moment. And it's just like, those kind of quips and, little things that Sophia would have would like really make, like all their personalities together really made the show what it is now. And that's why, over 30 years later, over 30 years later, we still love the show. Most of Most of the episodes in the show did age well. Like I said, most of them, again, it was the 80s. You know, they could have done better with diversity. They could have done better with how, you know, they tackled certain things, or they could have had more episodes with Black people or brown people, or more episodes dealing with I guess like depression or homelessness, because they had some of those episodes, but I still feel like Golden Girls was ahead of its time in a way, because like, you know, like they were talking about, you know, lesbianism and, you know, being gay and things like that, like somebody being anti-Semitic. Like they tackled some of those things. They tackled mixed interracial relationship. They tackled that. They tackled, the episode was, I wish I could remember, I think it's called like Mixed Blessing, and you have Dorothy's son who is like 23, and the woman that he's interested in, she's like in her 40s, but she's also a Black woman. So it was just like, woo, she's older, but she's also a Black woman, but she's also pregnant with their child. So like that episode was loaded, but I don't think it's a stretch. But I do think that back then it probably was like, oh my goodness, you know, we're talking about, you know, this younger guy dating this older woman who happens to be Black, who happens to be, you know, a pregnant woman, and then, you know, you have her mom, the Black girl's mom, saying, you know, she's not going to marry, you know, a skinny white boy, and this and this. It was just like, whew. There were moments where it was heated, but it was like, obviously one of the episodes that I can remember. So I do feel like they did a really good job with tackling certain topics for sure. So one highlight, Dorothy is giving her ex-husband Stan a well-deserved piece of her mind in person. It was so needed. He needed that every single time. Almost every single time she saw him, she let him have it, because it's just like, dude, go away. Why are you always here? But the moments of silence and those sly implied references, often involving, you know, sometimes those would have me in stitches. Like it would just be so funny. But I do believe that the show's genius lies in its ability, as I stated before, to tackle different topics. So be it love triangles, be it death, be it, you know, having a heart attack, be it, you know, you're growing older, be it you're, you know, starting to get menopause, being somebody asking you to help them, you know, take their life, be it you know, Blanche's daughter who, you know, was a model, but she winds up being bigger, and then this guy is just a jerk, just a complete dimwit, keeps picking on her about her weight. And finally, you know, like the girls are letting her know, like, hey, this is what's going on. They want to get married. And Blanche is like, you know, she finally confronts her. Finally, her daughter is like, you were right, mama. He is not the person that I need to get married to. And, you know, they go from there. So, like I said, different topics for sure. Of course, as I previously mentioned, every single time that Sophia is like, picture it Sicily, picture it Brooklyn with such and such date, I knew that it was going to be a great story, and a lot of times it was going to be really funny. And she liked to work alone, because there was an episode where she was dating, I wish I could remember, he was like a Cuban guy. She was dating him, but Blanche was dating him too, but apparently he was dating some other women too. And then at his, you know, funeral, and then one of the girls was like, I know, that's right. And she was like, quiet, I work alone. I'm like, exactly, because when Sophia wants to tell her story, you let Sophia tell her story, because she's the one that's speaking. And yeah, a lot of times she doesn't need anybody else to help her. Like, she got it. She doesn't need any assistance. And plus, that woman was rude to Dorothy anyway. So I was glad when Sophia was like, quiet, I work alone. Like, exactly, like, sit your behind down. Another thing that I found very sweet was how Sophia would give Dorothy tough love, but when she was really sweet with her, she was sweet with her. Like, she would call her, you know, pussycat and stuff, so she would like nudge her a little bit. I thought that, you know, that kind of thing was really cute. It just showed like, hey, I might be tough on you, but I still love you. You're still my baby. You're still my pussycat. And then, of course, any single time that Rose was going to start talking about the St. Olaf story, I'm like, oh boy. Because the look on Blanche's face, Dorothy's face, and Sophia's face would be hilarious. But there were a few times where she was like, okay, well, if you guys go to sleep, I'm going to finish the story in the morning. And they would come right back, because it's like, listen, we might as well listen to it right now, because if not, we're going to have to deal with it in the morning. So I did find those moments to be hilarious, for sure. And I do wonder, like, what St. Olaf was based on, because I understand that it's not a real place. But I wonder, like, what city that's supposed to be. Maybe it's a combination of different cities. So that is definitely something that I'm intrigued to know about. As I stated before, it could have been more diverse. They could have, you know, put in a couple more episodes about certain things. But all in all, I will still give the Golden Girls an 8.5 out of 10. There is rewatchability. There are so many things that I guess that we can relate to. It's still heartwarming. It's still witty. And like I said, it's a classic. So I absolutely love the Golden Girls. I'm actually watching it now for I don't know how manyth time. But yes, Golden Girls is great. Are there things that they could have worked on? Yes, but for the most part, it is a classic. Love all four. I still, no matter how many times I watch it, I'm like, I still can't figure out who my favorite is. Because sometimes, depending on the episode, they're all my favorite, or one of them might be my favorite. But all in all, absolutely love the Golden Girls. If you've never seen it before, like, check it out. Absolutely, check it out. It is absolutely worth it. And listen, as they like to do, have you some cheesecake and sit back and enjoy. So yes, Golden Girls is great. It's a classic. But yeah, let me know what your favorite moment of Golden Girls is, who your favorite Golden Girl is. I would be interested to see. And if you have seen Golden Girls before, and if you haven't, like I said, what are you waiting for? Like, come on now. Oh, and I almost forgot. The theme song is also so classic. I remember, like, when I used to go to the clubs, they would play Golden Girls towards the end of the night, and I'm not even making this up. They would play Golden Girls towards the end of the night, and mind you, this is a predominantly black club, and they would play Golden Girls. I always found that to be really interesting. But yeah, that's that. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Double check to make sure that you are still subscribed, because you may think you are, but you're not. So please make sure that you are still subscribed. I am going to have another video going, so please be on the lookout for that. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. And I know that times can be hard, but listen, be optimistic and keep on moving no matter what.